I'm your co-ghost Anthony,
And I'm your co-ghost Kaylee.
and this is Two Ghosts Review Dead City Season 2. Alright, welcome back to another episode of Two Ghosts Review. I was about to say this week, but it's not weekly, so this bi-weekly episode is going to be on Dead City Season 2, the first half. So 4 episodes have aired, and we're gonna go over them.
I don't know why I just had a little bit of shock when you said that it's halfway over. Things are just too short these days.
And this season's longer than normal.
That's so disappointing. It's like they don't have faith in anything anymore.
I felt like that, like with this, they're like, we're starting to have more faith in it, so we're gonna give them 2 more episodes for a season. But it's still short.
Stuff used to have like 20 episodes a season.
Yeah.
And now they're like, I don't know, 5, 6, 9 random numbers.
Yeah.
We'll give it 11.
The Last of Us Season 2 just ended with 7 episodes. That's a weird one. But yeah, let's go over our poll. The question for our poll was, I'm thinking real hard here. I gotta pull this question. I don't have it written down.
I don't even remember what our last episode was about.
It's Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was our last episode.
Oh.
It was about what was that poll question? It was who will be, which Avengers team will be like the main Avengers after Avengers Secret Wars. So like once we get through Avengers Doomsday Secret Wars, at the end of that, who will be the real Avengers team? And the options were the new Avengers, aka the Thunderbolts, Sam's new Avengers team, or both of them mixed together.
Probably remnants, because so many people are gonna die.
Yeah. And that's what the results came out to, is
including hopefully Sam.
100% on both, which that's what I would pick too. I think, yeah, like you said, there are probably going to be a lot of deaths, and they're just going to amalgamate into one Avengers team, at least adults wise. I don't know, they might do a separate young Avengers or something, but if that doesn't get cut,
we'll see.
Yeah. All right, well, let's dive into Dead City. So we're back with season 2. We got 8 episodes this season. And what episode 1 is titled "Power Equals Power."
All right, Negan.
Yes.
Negan.
Yeah, let's just dive in here. Okay, so we start off the episode with kind of spotlight on a walker getting killed and taken to this church, and then getting shoved into one of the tubes or whatever, and get made into methane or something. So their power source that this whole season is about, that we're everybody's fighting over. I
enjoyed the sequence.
You liked that?
Yeah. It was gross.
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, this is, I don't know. I think I struggle with these other shows feeling like The Walking Dead. Like, they're just like yeah, these are just
feeling like the original. Yeah.
Having the same feeling, yeah. I don't know how to describe it. Like, obviously, yeah, they're different shows and they have like different tones, but sometimes I feel like they're like so far removed that they've like lost the point.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
And this just like visually made me think of like not that it was exactly the same, but like reminded me of like the governor having his heads in
Oh
the
yeah.
fish tanks, like just weird stuff with
Yeah, I can
walkers.
see that. Yeah.
It's just like I don't know. I feel like they missed the point a lot of it. Like, yes, at this point, the danger is more people,
Yeah.
but it's like there's barely any walker problems now.
Well, if they would just pick up the what they left off with the original show with like the smart walkers coming back, like that
Yeah.
just completely dropped off.
Yes.
Like if they would expand upon what they started at the very end of the show, then there would be a bigger walker threat.
Yeah, they're focusing like way too entirely on like societal issues
Yeah.
in all of these shows.
Yes. Yeah. Which it's a main thing. It's a big part of The Walking Dead overall. Like if you just think of the show,
But it's like
but
the walkers are just in like
it is widely regarded that the best period of the original Walking Dead was like the beginning, where
yeah.
walkers were more of a threat, where they were surviving place to place with a lot of walkers around, and that like we're fighting them a lot. And
Yeah. I just feel like walkers are in like the B-roll shots now.
yes, yeah,
They're
yeah.
not actually the problem.
No, no.
So I don't know. It's a little discouraging.
They're like almost a nuisance.
yeah.
They're not even a nuisance fully, but like it could you could get bit. Maybe.
You could get bit if if your enemy society wrangles them up and herds them towards you and like uses them as strategy. That's it. I don't know. It's just I kind of feel exhausted sometimes with these, or I'm not as excited to watch them, just because I get that feeling like it's just gonna be them, arguing with each other. Like there's not a survival aspect anymore. Like this far in, you're in New York City. There's not a lot of places for you to be like growing your food or like any of that. Like food should be like a serious problem. Like you don't even see people scavenging. Like nothing.
They eat rats.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I'm not to be like negative about it. It's just kind of depressing to me sometimes.
Yeah, I feel it. We'll get more into it, but especially this season of this show, I'm feeling it a little harder.
Yeah.
But let's continue. We got quite a bit to go through.
I just that thought about that scene just made me think like when I saw it, I was like, yeah.
It reminded you of the good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So we have Maggie showing Herschel how to throw knives at deer, which I kind of like. I just like the characters that can do that. Like I like that as a weapon, kind of like knives. Like I like how Magna could do that, but they never like expanded much on it. Like they didn't show her doing it a lot.
They still rely so heavily on guns.
Yeah, yeah.
This far in,
I think crazy. More people should be able to like throw knives and stuff like that. But like I love it when Daryl throws a knife at a walker in the head or something. That's
pins it to a tree.
It's great. Yeah. Oh. So yeah, I have here. So I have put a question mark on this. Maggie sees Herschel's missing toe? Question mark, because she did it. I couldn't tell.
His sock off?
Yeah, if she like maybe just missed it or something. I think
that she just missed it because she would definitely freak out over that. Yeah. I feel like that was more of setting it up.
But it's been like, I think it's been a year is what Negan says in this episode. So like, could she have noticed before and she's over it? But as we go further into the season, I don't think
she
so.
Knows because she, not to get ahead of ourselves, but like she sees Dama and realizes that that's who he drew. She doesn't have the full I think I said that right. That's who Herschel drew, because she had seen his art and was like, "Who is this? What happened to you?" And he didn't explain. I don't think she knows.
Yeah, I don't think she.
She's an
Yeah, she saw it.
overreactor, okay?
Oh, for sure.
She would have had more than just a little glance. I think they're just setting it up that like, remember this happened last season and she doesn't know yet. She's gonna
such
freak
a mom.
out.
She's such a mom. I like.
No, but like she would treat it the same way that she deals with like the Negan thing.
I know, but like all through this show, and especially this season because Herschel's in it more. I don't know, like she just acts so like I don't know, like a mom of a teenager. Like I don't know. It's weird. Like I guess I would expect that. I guess I just don't see it from a lot of characters in The Walking Dead.
It's because Carl was like a
But
psychopath by the
yeah,
time he's a teenager. Like,
wait, Herschel is
no, he's not. Like
he's not
Carl.
he's not like Carl, but like he's a little twisted, and I think you get hints of that,
Yeah.
like from you get a little bit in the Walking Dead comics at the end, where he is, if I'm
He
remembering,
parades them around.
yeah,
Right?
it's like a circus. Like he brings them around because they're like so uncommon walkers, and like he's just a little twisted, I think,
Yeah.
but
Carl was
um,
like, Dad, it's fine. I killed someone. It felt good.
felt right.
It's what we do. Okay, Carl.
Okay, then we get Negan, and he's in prison. This is where he tells the guard, the violin man, um, that a year ago he would have been begging for in a year he'd be begging for roaches or something,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I get the year thing. Um, so like maybe it wasn't a full year or
Yeah, I
something.
guess
I
I
don't
missed
know.
that line though because, yeah, when he later, I must have missed that line because I didn't realize that was his guard, the
Oh,
violin
yeah.
guy. You know.
Which yeah, like I'm going with it's been a year, but he could have just been saying like directly quoting him, and it hasn't been a year. But
Mm.
I took that as like, why would you put that in there if it hasn't been a year? Um, then we have the Croat comes in to his cell, kind of messing with Negan.
Negan.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. So they're trying to get the Croat and Dama are trying to get Negan to be like their I don't know, like their front man, their guy up front to scare these other groups, kind of, and lead these other groups, um, like basically get them all together based off of,
They want to lead the posse.
yeah, just based off of what the Croat has told Dama about Negan and how he brought in these other communities with the saviors and all that, and how he did that. Um,
I just can't believe that they think Negan's gonna do that for them.
yeah, I know.
Like he has always, ever since the Croat first came across him, always been way different. Like if I saw him, I would be like, "Oh, you're different now, Negan," you know. But this guy's like, "Yes, remember."
If it was somebody else that wasn't the Croat, I think that other person would notice. But the Croat just seems
Stuck in the past,
he
like
very
literally
stuck.
living in the
Yeah,
past.
yeah, and he's just like enamored by by Negan and his ways and all that. But yeah, he threatens him kind of with like, we can go back, and get the boy kind of thing, and um, Negan's just like, you gotta go through Maggie. Okay.
I still think Negan and Maggie are gonna have a little kiss by the end of this.
A little smoochy
A little smoochy. I feel like his, as unfortunate as this is to say, but I feel like his wife is enough of a throwaway.
Yeah. I was
She
surprised.
came out of
I'm
nowhere.
very surprised that they're um like I don't know, like mentioning that like they're on their way back like to New York.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think that they were even gonna be in the show.
Well,
Yeah,
they aren't yet.
they aren't. That's the thing. Is like they might get killed off before they
They
get
might have just
there.
went and found them and killed them preemptively or
Maybe,
something.
yeah. So yeah, I was just surprised when it came up the first time. I was like, oh, you're mentioning you guys found them? Like, okay,
Right, yeah.
all right. Um, um, I made a note that I liked how Negan was kind of like toying back with the Croat about the cockroaches, and he's like, just the way I like them, crunchy on the outside, soft in the middle.
Nasty.
And
That's so
it makes the
funny.
Croat angry.
Yeah.
uh, um, but yeah, then we get to see the New Babylon group showing up to draft at
These idiots.
the bricks.
First, I hate the words "the bricks." That's so cringy.
I like when Maggie says it with her accent. The bricks.
Y'all gonna stay here in the bricks? No, Herschel, you're staying in the bricks.
Hey, her community titles are not like that creative. Get Hilltop already had its name, I guess,
Yeah.
but Hilltop, it was on a hilltop. The bricks. It's just brick buildings. All the other ones are like what, Sanctuary.
I hate how like it looks
Alexandria.
like her and Herschel have like one room.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
that's my okay. We'll get into it a little bit more, but like, one of my big uh little peeves with this season in particular is that I feel like the sets are not up to snuff in this season particularly. But we'll get more into that with some examples that I have.
Yeah.
So yeah, so New Babylon rolls up to draft for going in and getting this methane, as the bricks are part of whatever it's called, the New Babylon Federation or something. I don't know.
Not by choice.
I can't remember why they joined.
Not by actual choice. I think it's like if you're not with us, you're against us, and you know they're hanging people for like speaking out of turn. So
yeah, I can't quite remember. I think they did mention something about like how that happened, them coming together. I don't remember. And I made a note here that when they rolled up, it made me think of. Well, actually, a lot of things make me think of in this show. Make me think of Fear the Walking Dead, but this made me think of Virginia in particular because like they had the cowboy hats on, kind of, and all that. But so yeah, then we go back to Dama, and she's got Negan at her whatever that room is.
Her weird ass collection room.
Her. She's got like a piano. She has a piano in there. I don't know. Shit. Yeah, her little
to
weird
look at
room.
Her painting. I hate that painting. Ugh.
Well, she's trying to get Negan on board with the. This is where we get to see like the map of where all the groups are, and they're kind of surrounding Central Park. And she wants to bring them all together to basically form an army against New Babylon.
So this is a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. The city seemed completely deserted, except for like groups of like 10 or less in the first season to me. It seemed like, oh, there's nobody here.
Yeah.
And now, like, there's those people that, you know, Negan killed that one guy, the group that they ran into.
Oh, yeah,
like
the little group.
Yeah, that's what I was under the impression that's all that there was.
Well, I think that was fair for season 1 because they didn't go very far. They kind of just got on the island, kind of, and they didn't go that far in. And it, at least in how I look at it, the Dama's group seems to be like on the edge, like closest to the river. In at least the way that they show it, I've perceived it that way. So I feel like all these groups are like further in along like Central Park.
I don't know. It's just like, why all of a sudden is there like these massive groups with, gambling rings and trading
Yeah.
and all this, and then like there was nothing in the first season.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, she shows him those groups and everything and gets him to change his mind because they've got Annie and Joshua and they're bringing them. Which this is the first time I think I heard the kid's name.
Well, yeah.
Joshua, but yeah, so I'll be very surprised if we see those two.
They're gonna die, and then Negan and Maggie are gonna kiss.
I'd like to see them. I don't know if we will, yeah, but like I'd like to see those characters like come into the story. That'd be interesting.
Why? So Maggie can be hateful towards them?
Sure, whatever.
She's got no character anymore. They've ruined her.
Yeah, she's just this Negan feud is been like a curse on her character. And then we go back to the bricks where they're going through looking for people to draft, I guess. And Herschel draws a picture of the city for I called him Milton 2.0.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's out here. Yeah, he looks like a younger Milton, and he's keeping like records, like history records of everything that happens, and it just takes me back to that episode where Milton is like talking with Herschel, the old Herschel.
Yeah.
And yeah, and like I'm keeping notes of everything that happens. We got to know these things. We got to have them for when it's all over. So yeah, so I kind of enjoy that Milton character a bit. I mean, he's not too crazy of a character. He's not like that. It like interesting. I just like that he's like kind of parallels.
I think
old
he
Milton.
could blubber a little bit more.
Yeah, he could do that.
He's pretty composed. And also, never writing anything down.
So was Milton. But
like later, he's never writing anything down. They're like, and you should be accounting this. He's always just standing there. This is the only time he's ever actually writing.
Why isn't the scribe writing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what? Maggie, she wants to be the only one drafted.
Shocker.
Yes. But we flip out of that and go back over to the city, and we see this Walker fight between the groups, which I don't know, like it actually becomes kind of like a bigger part of the story than what I thought it was gonna be, or like a bigger like piece, like what do you call it?
Like the Walker fighting ring.
Yeah, like just that whole thing. I thought like I didn't think it was gonna like they're gonna continue doing things with the Walker fighting thing. It's just I thought this was kind of like the one
because they show the Walkers for 1 second and then we move back to societal problems.
Yeah. So, but we get like a little bit. We get the answer, or I got my answer, in the 4th episode. But at first I was like, how are they going at each other? Because it just seemed like why are the walkers fighting each other?
They
like
were
how
seriously
are they doing
focused on
that?
each other, yeah. And
Yeah,
they seemed to have like
but
strategy. We
yeah,
noticed like it was weird.
but in the fourth episode they showed them like putting like it looked like intestines and stuff like on
They're
them.
mopping each other's
Yeah,
heads.
so I guess that's how they were doing that. Walker v Walker ones, you know.
Yeah.
They got to get live or like fresh guts though or something to do that.
Yeah, but
I
like the
think.
people were also being really loud around them,
Yes, that's
and
true.
they didn't care
Yeah.
about that noise. They must starve them,
Yeah.
so they're more focused on the ready guts
It's
than
right there.
anything
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
I thought it was kind of interesting, but I also got the, this is one of those things that kind of got that Fear the Walking Dead vibes from it. Um, Especially with honestly, these groups. I think these groups are
Because
a
they all
little,
have gimmicks.
yeah, they're a little silly because they got gimmicks. So like, it feels like Fear the Walking Dead, um, which I'm not a super big fan of. Yeah, these other two groups being like that, but whatever, man. Um, so yeah, yeah, Negan gets to kind of see that. Um, yeah, then we go back to Maggie and her. She has to. They want to test her that she's worth 20 men
Yes.
because they want to draft 20 people, and she wants to be the only one, so she's got to be worth it. So they want her to fight a bunch of walkers in a ring, and Jenny's like, "I'm gonna go too." So
And
I'm gonna
Maggie's
join
like,
you.
no. And
Yeah.
she's like, you're not my mom.
Maggie just wants to be the mom.
Jenny, no, you're not going.
Is this more proof that you think that they're gonna kiss at the end? Because
Yeah.
they're like gonna be parents of
Yeah.
the.
Just like that.
They're gonna be one big dysfunctional family,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe Annie dies and Joshua lives, and then they have 3 kids or something.
Yeah. Just like that.
Look at that. We're writing the story, how the story ends.
I'm not saying that's what should happen. That would be seriously messed up. But it seems like they want it to happen.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens.
He says with a smile.
I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I don't want that to happen, but like the trajectory of
They're
their
gonna do
story
that, and I'm gonna
is like
scream a blood curdling
ridiculous.
scream.
Like,
It's gonna be like when he was naked kissing Alpha. Like,
oh.
no!
Oh. Man.
Yuck.
Oh, poor Negan.
Again! At least it's not Dama.
Oh. Oh. That's rough. Okay. Yeah. Then we get Negan's speech in the church.
With Taser Lucille.
With Taser Lucille. I loved this. I love got to see Negan. Just I love it when he gets the stage and is able to be that, I don't know, charismatic
I don't know.
character.
I don't think his heart was in it.
It wasn't, you could tell it wasn't like fully in it, but he did what he needed to do to like kind of, I don't know, get them to more respect their
This
group.
Was like bare minimum.
Yeah, it wasn't like getting them, like it wasn't really forcing them to get on board. It was like giving them the option, but like they weren't taking him seriously or the Dama or seriously. This made him take him a little more seriously. With Christos not wanting to join or whatever, and then Negan shocks him with Lucille. What did you think about that? What do you think about Lucille's new powers?
I don't think I like that. That seems a little more like far-fetched.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how does this work?
I was thinking about that too, because like I was like, what? They just got a bunch of methane in the bat or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, no,
They're making methane
no.
batteries.
You could like whatever. Um, the methane, like obviously it powers things. However they do it, they're able to power things, use it as gas or whatever. So they can charge up batteries, put batteries into the bat, like hollow it out or something.
That's so much effort.
And put wiring in it or whatever and make it do that. So it's a little silly, but I don't think it's like
they got those
that far fetched.
Rechargeable batteries.
Yeah, like I don't think it's that like. At first, I thought I was like, well, that's ridiculous. That's like, there's no way. But the more I thought about it, I was like, if someone had enough time on their hands to sit there and like whittle this bat or something, the inside of it, and
yeah, the Croat would do that for Negan.
Yeah, exactly. And like the Croat is like obsessed with him, so it's like, oh, I know, I'd even make him even better. So, it's a little silly, but like it kind of works. So I'm okay with it, but it's also kind of one of those Fear the Walking Dead things too.
Yeah, which is not necessarily a good thing, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle on that. That's where we get, the line "power equals power" after he shocks him. And then I liked part of the part of his speech when he's talking about the power and like, he's like, we have the bright lights, the cool cars, awesome weapons and stuff like that. Like, I enjoyed that. And then made that big statement and like lighting up the whole street as they walked out. Which made Bruegel is his name very happy. He didn't say anything. He was just like, oh my god.
Smiled.
Yeah, he smiled at the whatever the Radio City something. I think that's what it's called. Whatever that building is. Yeah, so then we got Herschel being mad at Maggie again.
Shocker. Look, that's his character's gonna be mad at her. She's mad at Negan. Negan wants to move on.
Yeah.
That's all they have now.
Yeah. I mean, seems right that Maggie passed on some of that like anger to Herschel.
Herschel's not mad at Negan. Herschel's just mad at her.
But like the attitude, like passed that on to like kind of, and it's kind of fitting that he's mad at her when she's been so obsessed with being mad at Negan. It's
seriously obsessed.
Yeah. So I honestly kind of like Herschel's point of view and like what they're doing with his story and how they're using Maggie's problems with Negan to like affect Herschel's character.
I liked how, I mean, I'm getting out of myself, but I liked how it's even causing him to be willing to work against her almost.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's like
it gets
dang
next level.
But yeah, and we'll get to it. But like the Dama, like playing off of his problems with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really great.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. Yeah. So Maggie, while they're kind of fighting, she asks about the drawings, and this was one of those things that I was like, oh my god, that's such a mom kind of thing. Is when she even brings it up again later, but like when she says here, it's like, does the city have a pull on you? Like, that line.
Does the city have a pull on you? What does that mean?
Like, bro, I'm just thinking of like a mom, like just normal mom being like, I don't know, like, does that type of music have a pull on you or something? Okay. Or like, are you doing drugs or something?
See, that's something that, like, your mom would do or say. My mom would not do or say those things.
I don't know. She's just a. I thought that was very very momish of her. Um. So yeah, she leaves with Ginny, and we see Herschel stick a knife. Finally, like he's throwing knives,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
actually like sticks one. And then after Negan's big performance, he they put him back in his cell. Oh well, they don't actually. He goes in there by himself, I think, but he returns to the cell.
Negan's
Um,
used to being locked up.
yeah, he spent a lot of time in The Walking Dead in prison in a cell. Um, yeah, so that's episode 1. All right, so now we roll into episode 2. This one's called Another Shitty Lesson.
Of what?
Another Shitty Lesson.
Poop.
Why'd you make me repeat that?
I just didn't realize it was called that.
Yeah.
They got all loose with the cussing now on The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Now they're not afraid to put the like under the F word words
They even put an F word in every
in the
episode sometimes.
in the title of an episode.
Yeah.
Um, which I wish they were able to use that language in the original show.
I don't. Why do we need to be talking like that all the time?
I don't think they use it that much in Walking Dead. In now that they're able to, I don't think they really use it that much, like compared to how much it's used in other shows, like overused in
I
other
still
shows.
notice it every time they do it. I'm like, whoa, hey.
Yeah. Well, I notice it because it's still kind of surprising because it's Walking Dead and they didn't do it for so long. But I remember when they switched to like they got one per season. Like, on Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead, they were allotted one. Uh, but yeah, let's jump into episode 2 here. So the New Babylon forces arrive at the docks.
These
And
binguses.
yeah, they're like, we're gonna take this ferry boat straight across, no problems. And yeah, and Maggie, yeah, I don't think we say anything, but yeah, she was able to convince them that just her needed to go.
And Ginny.
And Jenny.
Because
yeah.
she's not her mom.
Yeah. Yeah, so then we got Negan in his cell, feeling all terrible, and this violin guy explains how he likes Bach to Negan.
Boring.
Yeah. Yeah, he the point of the story was that he found one good thing that he liked about music lessons, which was Bach. He didn't like having to do them or whatever, but he's basically telling Negan, just find one good thing or in this, even though you hate doing this, find one good thing. Which is kind of okay. That's a nice message, I guess, for Negan at that point, but yeah. So then back with Maggie, she tells New Babylon, the leaders there, that their plan is terrible, basically.
Because it is.
Because it is, yeah, it's not good. And Pearlie kind of takes her side.
I don't like him.
You don't like him?
No, he's annoying.
I don't know. I haven't liked him as much in this season, but I thoroughly enjoyed him in the first season. I know he was kind of being a pain because he was being so like by the book. in the first
Mm-hmm.
one, but I liked like the stuff with his brother, like him finding his brother, and like how you get kind of like hints of like his life before and stuff like that. Um, and then like how he kind of warms up to them at the end with warms up to Negan basically. Um, but yeah, with this second season so far, there hasn't been much. He's kind of just like at the same level. I feel like
Mm.
for this season, there's not they're not adding much to him. Like we know that he has daughters. We haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
Like we know the things that he's saying about his character, and it's like okay. But yeah. So Maggie's like, yeah, the Croat will be ready for him.
The Croat will be ready.
Croat will be ready.
The Croat.
Yeah. So then Negan participates by saying that making a the attack on the ferry a spectacle would benefit their situation to show the other groups what the Dama can do, and I guess to kind of scare off New Babylon as well, just make it intense. And we have Maggie finding these burning tires, which is a signal to the Croat that New Babylon is about to come over the river. And she sees the little blue cloth in the tires, which is important later in the episode. Um, and then, oh yeah, Herschel's just around there. He pops up.
Well, I didn't think anything of that at the time.
When I saw the blue cloth in there,
Mm-hmm.
that's what made me start thinking that it could have been. And then like he showed up, but like
why?
just because like they lingered on it. I don't know. It was kind of something like that's important.
Mm.
Who could have lit it? And then Herschel walks in, like he was right there. Like maybe
I
it was
just
him.
assumed he saw that and started going towards it because it was something.
Yeah, I mean that's what they wanted you to think it was, right?
What worked?
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, the Maggie wants to kind of hide him, and before she can even do anything, New Babylon soldiers pop up and find them both. And then we go back to the New Babylon leadership, and her name is Lucia, I think. I hate her, but she's like, we need to hang Maggie for desertion. Bro,
Yeah.
take it easy, my goodness.
Yeah, these New Babylon people, they want to torture everybody.
Yeah, well, specifically Lucia. Like, even like the leader isn't as intense as this other girl, Lucia with the short hair. Like,
I don't know, I feel like as a whole. Because in the first season, when they're looking for Negan, like those people at the bar, they're mean to them too.
I get, yeah, it's. I think it like they're all very strict on the rules, the laws, and everything. But Pearlie has obviously like loosened up a bit. So like the ones that we're focusing on, Lucia stands out because Pearlie is loosened up, and then like the leader is just being the leader. She's not really. We don't actually really. I don't feel like we don't get much with her. Because spoiler alert, she's about to die. But yeah, so Lucia is saying this stuff, threatens to hang Herschel as well. Maggie punches her in the face, which is well, she's slapped and punched quite a few people in the face, I think, but this one felt the weakest.
Well,
it didn't hit as hard.
haha.
Pun intended. Yeah, then Pearlie steps in and says that Maggie was just doing what he told her to do and find evidence that the Croat will know that they're coming.
Okay, but like also, how did everybody else miss that smoke?
Same. Yeah. I guess they did notice it just later because the soldiers came
This is
up
a
on
whole
them.
army.
I know.
What do you mean you're not paying attention?
They're not that great, okay? Clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? You put all your soldiers on one boat. One boat.
And
Send them right out into the open. After getting warnings from people that have been on the island.
yeah, they're not very smart.
No. So, yeah, Pearlie kind of helps Maggie out and then flips and says they need to cross immediately. Which I don't get for Pearlie's character. Like, I don't get why he's doing this back and forth with Maggie. Like,
He's got no spine.
Yeah, like, because he knows, like, he's been over there. He knows what's gonna happen, basically. So I don't know why he doesn't step up, especially since later on, like in episode 4, he takes control, basically. Like, he does step up. And it seems like he has
How many
power.
people had to die before that
Yeah,
happened?
but it seems like he has like authority over Lucia, because like she immediately backs down. Why would she immediately back down if he didn't have authority over her? Kind of.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't know. It's kind of, that whole thing is weird to me. And then we get to one of the parts I really wanted to talk about. So the Croat is making Negan reminisce with the violin guy up on the rooftop. And Negan tells, the story of how he fed walkers to an enemy group, which is
tainted meat.
Yeah, tainted meat. Which was I like when we get, a backstory story for like Walking Dead time. But this is one of the parts where I was like, this looks so fake. The set. They're up on the roof and talking. I thought it looked like I was watching like Sesame Street.
Oh no.
Yeah, like it was bad. And that's my big complaint is that the difference between season 1 and season 2 and how they made like the city look, I believed it in season 1 that they were in the city. In season 2, it feels like they're working around not being able to be filming in the city or something. Like everything, like I'm just thinking back to maybe that was episode 2 of season 1 where they're like running through the streets and the walkers are falling from off the buildings and all that. Like it felt like they were in the city. But this season so far, it's like they've focused on like
interiors.
Yeah, like interiors or like just the street outside the church, which feels like a dressed up like outer city location. And like just like like interiors, like the museum. Like they just show the museum building and then they go in. Like or they're in Central Park, which isn't any buildings. They just put them in the background. So I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed with the quality of how that looks. So yeah, we get all the main characters go on the boat. Not just the main characters, all the characters, I guess. Everybody goes on one boat.
Yeah, everybody goes on one boat, and you're like, okay, so the boat's gonna rip in half or something.
Basically.
Is there lifeboats like Titanic? What's going on?
they're all getting on there, and you're immediately looking for lifeboats.
Yeah.
uh, um, yeah, so they have Maggie and Herschel locked up like in the boat. Um, and then Herschel like is starting to slip by saying he says it's all his fault, and he goes quiet. Like, that's suspicious. Um, and then they find some mines in the water that the Croat has left for
Yeah,
him.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, I thought that was a little silly too. I agree with you. Yeah, I don't know. What? Because they're like, well, I guess you could just throw a heavy anchor down. You got to know how deep it is, though.
But like, what is the Croat doing? Like,
what
does he do in his free time? He's like, Dama, I can make mines for the pier. Dama, I can make missile walkers. Dama, I can.
Dama, I can make nuclear silo.
Dama, let me talk to you about it again.
yeah, I was a super big fan of the mines. That felt
Dama,
little...
I can make electric bat.
I can make anything. Oh yeah, so they hit these mines, and then they got like walker bombs that they're firing off.
It made me think of bottle rockets.
Bottle. Okay. Yeah, no, these are body rockets, I guess. That sounds disgusting.
And then I think I thought, like, I don't remember when I thought this, but I was like, imagine you died, or you're a person, and the apocalypse started, and you're like, oh gosh, I hope I don't get turned into a walker or get eaten. And you get turned into a walker, and you're used as a missile.
That's pretty awesome, honestly.
That used to be a person. Like, sometimes I think about that in these situations. I'm like, used to be a person, and now you're getting turned into, like, a methane.
You know how, like, I don't know, what was it, like Vikings, I guess, did it? Or they, like, they put the body on a boat and then shoot like an arrow, flaming arrow out. That's what this feels like. Like, that's an amazing send off. Like, I wouldn't mind that.
You wouldn't mind, being
that.
used as a human missile?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh my gosh, I don't want that for you.
I guess, like, just don't kill anybody with me.
Don't kill me.
Yeah, like if you want to shoot me out into the whatever, into
what
something. What
do you want to blow up?
Something that like blows something else up. So it's like it's a spectacular sight, like, kind of thing. Specific. Like fireworks, like hit a bunch of fireworks or something. So you want
to be shot at fireworks?
Yeah. Oh, boom. Big arc. Mm-hmm. Right into like a bunch of fireworks or something. And then it's like
so then
finale.
Are your guts on those fireworks that
probably
I mean, there's pieces of cardboard and entrails coming down?
Yeah. But the thing is, I'd be so obliterated, I think, that
bone shrapnel?
Like, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, like,
you wouldn't mind.
Hey, it's my body, okay? Anyway, let's keep moving along. So Ginny breaks out Maggie and Herschel, and they get to an escape boat.
I like how Herschel's tattling on Ginny.
Yes, yeah.
Having the gun, and he's like behind the scheme.
Yeah.
Ginny has a gun. I don't think we should bring it up to her.
I liked how they're at the boats, and Maggie tells Ginny to like get the line or whatever to like lower the boat, and Herschel runs up and like tells Ginny to go away, and like does it himself. Like,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he's like, she's my mom. Get away. Like, wow. I can do it. I enjoyed that little interaction there.
She tells other people to do stuff because she doesn't want her sweet boy to have to do anything.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, Herschel. Oh.
Herschel, just sit right here. I'll take care of everything. I'll outsource it.
Jenny, get away from my mom.
Jenny, you redheaded stepchild. Get over here and pull the line.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So, yeah, they get this boat, and Negan pauses fire to let Maggie escape. Um, and a lot of people get on this boat that I didn't think were getting on in the moment. Like, we see who, like, maybe they all got off just in the water and they picked them up or something. But like, no, like the Milton kid, his name's Benjamin, but that kid, he was on there. Lucio was on there. Pearlie was on there. They all got ashore on that boat.
Mm.
Um, but it only looked like Maggie, Herschel, and Ginny were like in the vicinity of like that lifeboat when it was getting off.
I don't know. I'm also curious as to why they were okay with blowing Herschel up if he was like part of their plan. Is it because Maggie doesn't matter? She's dead, so you can blow him up with her?
I guess. Yeah, I agree though, because I don't think the Dama would. Well, I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Would she have been done with him at this point?
She could find other uses.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can see her being like, it doesn't matter.
She brings it up to Negan that, like, he was sparing someone.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the Crot tattled on him. But, yeah. So, yeah, the Benjamin, the new Milton, gets captured and taken to the church. And, yeah, Dama wants to know why Negan let people escape. And then she brings out the violin guy.
Makes him play a song and then kills him.
Yeah, yeah. And Negan says, what did he say? He's like he's giving up the reason. He just said there was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and he draws the line at kids. But yeah, killed the violin guy.
He was getting too much time.
Yeah.
Should have been able to predict it.
Too much screen time. And then, kind of at the end of the episode here is when we see the connection for the tire fire in Herschel. So now Maggie notices Herschel bandaging somebody with the blue cloth, which she saw in the fire.
Does the city have some kind of pull on you?
Yeah. The city has some kind of pull on him. And Mom's not happy. Then they head into Central Park for cover. And then we roll into episode 3. This episode is called Why Did the Mainlanders Cross the River?
So dumb.
Yeah. This is one of the episodes I saw the name of it and I just cringed. I was like, okay, I keep bringing this up, but like, it's just how it is. It's a Fear the Walking Dead kind of line or name there.
Which is not good.
No. I feel bad when I say stuff about that because like I enjoy Fear the Walking Dead, but it's like it's sad that it's grouped together with something like the first 3 seasons are so good, and then after that it's like it's either good or like really bad. But yeah, it's just sad. So we start off this episode with a flashback of Herschel captured by the Dama.
I enjoyed this.
You liked this?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I liked it too. But what'd you like about it? We can run through the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's through the whole episode sprinkled throughout, but I mean we can go through it.
I just liked how he was so like fine with it. I
Yeah.
guess like she's so creepy, and he was like, okay.
I like he like played into it because
Yeah.
like at the beginning he's like, you know, she's being nice,
Mhm.
but he's like he doesn't hesitate in being like, I'd like a coat. I'd
Mhm.
like some drawing supplies.
Mhm.
While I'm imprisoned here, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, but she does it.
yeah, she does. She gives it to him, but like I told you this before, so that compared to our last episode, Thunderbolts, and how
Mhm.
Valentino was trying to be motherly to Sentry,
Mhm.
Dama being motherly to Herschel is a lot better in this
Mhm.
than the Sentry thing, um, and a lot more believable that
Mhm.
she was able to reel Herschel in.
Yeah.
All right, we can hit it as we go through the episode. Um, oh, we got Croat and Negan and this big guy in the car, and
I feel like Negan calls a lot of people Frankenstein in this.
really,
Mhm. I heard he called this guy like a big Frankenstein dude, and the Walker.
I don't remember him calling him this guy Frankenstein, but maybe he did. I don't know. But yeah, Croat says Negan won't have to kill the kid when they find him, and the big guy's like, "I'll do it."
I bet you will.
uh, and then we go to New Babylon is in the park. Um, Maggie wants to go back, but Pearlie again sides with Lucia. Then we see a mysterious walker with a huge gaping hole in its body.
In his torso.
Torso. I didn't know if it was torso or chest. It's just the
Well,
body.
knowing now what we didn't know then, I'm sure it was the torso.
Yeah. Uh, so get that. And then Pearlie's like, across the lake, there's a little whatever, like a lake house or something, and let's go over there. Can take
No.
cover there.
No.
Please, no. And then we go back to Croat, and he's telling you a little story about how he sailed to Manhattan. And Negan just is always looking. He always looks so like fed up with the Croat, and I love it. But he's like, I'll go kill those any New Babylon people that are still out there.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Negan sent the Croat away, right? Back in the day? Or no, what was it? The
He
Croat.
shot his ear off. I can't remember if I think he was running away. He had to be running away.
The Croat was running away from Negan?
Something like that.
I thought the Croat was more intense than Negan.
He was,
like,
and then he went too far and in like interrogating and killing like a girl, like a young girl or something.
So was Negan sending him away?
Yeah, but I don't think they showed it.
No, but they talked about it.
Yeah, and I think it was more of a like, yeah, he's trying to run him off and took a shot at him.
Yeah,
and took his ear off, but like he was running away.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Negan and the big guy go. I do not have his name, so I'm just calling him the big guy.
Well, that's what Negan says. So
yeah, they go to the park. To the park on a nice walk.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really liked this I just thought it looked cool, like the reeds and stuff. When the walkers start attacking.
The field of reeds.
The field of reeds.
If you will.
It's just like the field of reeds.
The field of reeds with a hippo to guide you on your way.
I didn't see a hippo in this.
Okay, well, you weren't watching close enough. It was just like Moon Knight.
So yeah, they're in the field of reeds here, and the walkers start coming out of the reeds. You know, predictable. You knew that was gonna happen.
Well, sometimes you don't know because the walkers are only in the B-roll now.
That's true. Well, I mentioned this to you while we were watching it. They were showing like Maggie, Pearly, Herschel, whatever, and then they show a random guy like that they haven't.
Yeah.
We haven't seen up close, and I was like, he's about to get bit.
Yep.
And it's exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. And then they showed another random person. That person got attacked too. Like, yeah, I know how this is gonna go now. I've watched enough Walking Dead.
Who's that? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
That is victim number 1.
That's the first victim right there. Who's that? That's victim number 2. If you gotta ask, they're a victim. Mm-hmm. So yeah, in this attack, Herschel gets separated, and then so he gets separated from everybody, and the rest of them find this group that's, I guess it is in that boathouse or whatever, or is it? Whatever, yeah, whatever lake house thing.
When Herschel runs into the girl that I had to sit and Google and double check to make sure that Lauren Cohan didn't have any kids because this looked exactly like her. I was like, yeah, this looks like her if she had a daughter. And I like triple checked. It's not her kid. Just looks exactly like her.
I mean, like, I felt like she was like, I don't know, like she kind of like carried or talked the way a little. It wasn't just like how she looked. Like I got like this whole vibe. Yeah,
like she'd been around her.
Yeah.
I checked. No.
I was kind of like interested in her character too.
Yeah, and it didn't
matter. And it didn't matter. Like
I thought that'd be cool.
I was kind of disappointed. Yeah. But yeah, so the rest of the group is with this new group.
The Midsummer people. Yeah. We're gonna call them the Midsummer people. I say so.
Okay. Per your request, the Midsummer people hide there just among the walkers so nobody can get to them, basically.
Creepy people.
Yeah. And then, of course, Lucio is like, oh, soldiers. These are soldiers. We can force them to be part of the New Babylon army. Like, what are you gonna do? Like,
colonizer.
Immediately gonna start just like, let's hang 3 of them, and then you all better fight for us, or we're just gonna kill you all.
Terrible. Literally a colonizer.
Yeah. See, I hate this character. Mm-hmm. She's terrible. So then we go to Negan and the big guy, and they go through the little walker tunnel.
I knew immediately. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was a little predictable. Yeah. I mean, it's like the perfect opportunity. I mean, mm-hmm. Negan goes through first. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a walker on you. Mm-hmm. There's all these other walkers that are gonna grab onto you, so no surprise there. And then we get a little more flashback with Adama and her being motherly to Herschel. She says, that Maggie doesn't have room in her head for Herschel because of Negan.
Yep. Sounds pretty true.
I liked that. It's like it's really playing on, like what he already believes. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it just makes sense that she was able to do this to him. And then yeah, she says she's been alone for a long time. Okay.
Honestly, another reason why she was probably able to do this is because Maggie, like, micromanages everyone that he knows. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like she's like, Herschel can't be around you. I don't know you. I'm not. Herschel can't make friends on his own accord. I need to know all your friends. Who are you going to be with? When are you going to be back? And where are you going so I can show up if I want? You know? Like, she gives that vibe to me.
Herschel can't do anything on his own.
I have to come with him.
He needs help.
He needs his mom. So I can
His daddy died.
His daddy was killed by Negan.
By Negan. I hate Negan.
Let's all sit around and tell stories about how much we hate Negan.
Herschel, I'm so sorry. I can't be a good mother. I just want to kill Negan. Yeah, so back to the present.
That was weird.
Back to the present. Herschel is by himself drawing, and this girl pops up, and she doesn't talk.
Jr.
Actually, yeah, she didn't really. She said something eventually, right? But like, she wasn't saying anything.
She could not understand how he was drawing.
Yeah.
Like, she wanted to, like, it was like feral a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Like, the way she wasn't coming close, and she like caveman or something.
And I thought, I don't know, I just got these vibes from this situation, which you don't know too much about because it's comics, but I got the vibes of like there's like this love triangle between Carl, Lydia, and Sophia in the comics, and I don't know, I know Herschel isn't like with Ginny, or they don't like necessarily like each other, but I feel like the purpose of having those two so close together is like eventually that they're supposed to get together or something. That's what it feels like they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And then they introduce her, this other girl, and she felt like the Lydia. Like how Lydia was like a whisperer and like was like the enemy kind of, or she's not necessarily the enemy, but she's different. She's from a different weird, almost feral group kind of thing. That's the vibes I got from it, but obviously nothing comes from it.
I was very disappointed that happened to her.
Yeah, me too.
She would have been, I don't know how she could have come along, but I feel like she would have been a little more refreshing.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't even do anything really, but just the feeling.
She felt interesting.
The presence she brought was interesting. Yeah, it was intriguing, and then they like immediately killed her in a dumb way.
Very dumb.
They just wanted to do some weird midsummer stuff. That's all.
Yeah, that was such a letdown. Like, okay, yeah, just let her die. That's so dumb. So yeah, the big guy shows up, and Herschel throws his knife, and he like just blocks it, I guess, with his spear. Like
bitten up, he's like dying.
Yeah, he's got bites all over him. He's messed up.
Surprisingly, in one piece for the most part, and yeah, that sucks.
Which I thought this like, again, like this girl died, but I thought this would be like, this was part of what kind of like made this whole interaction interesting, is because this big guy shows up and immediately like flips her and like stabs her in the leg, and like I thought that was like shocking. Like all of a sudden, like you just met this character and like they're kind of like, I don't know, trying to be almost friends, Herschel and her, and then like boom, she gets attacked like that. And I thought it was like, okay, let's see where the rest of this goes with like Herschel and her kind of.
Well, yeah, like, is Herschel gonna take her back to his group now?
Yeah.
And get her help? Because he doesn't necessarily know about the other people.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that much. Like, he's like, okay, the New Babylonians will help you, and then you can be with us, you know?
Yeah. But, yeah, no, she just gets stabbed in the leg, and then,
Here comes Negan.
yeah, Herschel. Oh, yeah, Negan kills the big guy. Herschel fires a shot.
Very Judith of him.
Yes. And yeah, Negan just runs off.
It was like, all these kids are always pointing guns at Negan.
Yeah. My goodness.
But he never thought when he was a gym teacher that this would be what would happen to him.
It's come a long way. So Herschel and some others that find him get the girl back. Lucia is like still trying to plan to force this group to be a part of them. And Pearlie tells her to stand down. And then we go back to Dama, flashback, Dama and Herschel. This is where she like gives him a new room.
Oh, the statue of the artist that she talked about.
Yeah. But it was also interesting because like I thought it was kind of cool. It was like it was an elevator. It was a room. It was an elevator that they made. She made into a room.
I didn't realize it was an elevator.
Yeah, they did a whole elevator. Like outside shot of it like going up.
But it was so big. I don't know. I guess I just didn't think of it like that.
I mean, there's like those what do you call them? Like I want to say like freight elevators or something. Like
I don't know. It just seemed like giant. Yeah. I guess I didn't understand that it was that in there still. I don't know. Yeah,
so I thought it was an interesting concept for that room. And it had like a window, but it was open. Like there's no glass, so it was just like air coming in. But that was a cool concept.
So she filled it with stuff real fast.
Yeah, she did.
Crammed it. And that had to be cool for him if he lives in one dinky brick house with brick room with his mom.
Dude, going from that to being able to go up to the top of a building and have that view.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cool. And yeah, she wants him to draw what the city could be, what they could turn it into. Is what she wants from him, I guess. But yeah, and then we go back to the present, and this girl's dying. Herschel, gives her the drawing of the city that she was enjoying. And yeah, this group does their weird chant, their midsummer chant.
I know you haven't seen Midsummer, but that's immediately what it made me think.
They do their cultish chant.
So disturbing, yeah.
And
they crush her head and dig her heart out.
Did they crush her head?
I thought they were crushing. I don't know. I kind of wasn't looking because it was.
No, they didn't crush her head because she's a walker.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, they just took a sharp stone and dug at her chest. Smashed at her chest until they could take her heart out.
Brutal, bro.
But the heart was in one piece.
I was so disappointed. Yeah, she didn't have to die. They were even like, we can help her. We got whatever medical equipment or first aid or whatever. No, it's her time to go. Bro, you just killed off an interesting character, okay? And yeah, they just throw her out to be part of their walker, I don't know, wall. It's not really a wall, but...
And Maggie even looks disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah, so then Negan returns back to the Croat, and he's listening to music, which I liked. I thought it was funny.
In the car?
Yeah.
But again, to me, that just shows, like, the walkers don't even matter.
Yeah.
He's in that car playing the music so loud you can hear it on the outside. You don't realize someone has come up to the car. Crazy.
Yeah. I have it in the notes here. The next thing says Maggie asks Herschel if the city has a pull on him. So
Does
yeah,
this city have a pull on you?
she asks again. Does this city have a pull on you?
She does play a good mom for a childless woman.
Yeah. Well. Um, yeah, and he says things throughout these 4 episodes at least, but this is a part where he's kind of hinting at what the Dhamma has changed his mind to be is like
that the city is better this way, the world is better this way.
Yeah, like yeah, he says that he could see what it could be, um, not the forgotten city that it was. Um, yeah, he's it's like he's anti bringing it back to how it used to be, something new, which is this whole view that the Dhamma has, and like they don't want laws basically. They're fighting off these marshals they're like representing bringing back kind of the law and that part of civilization, and then like the people in the city are like feral ones.
I think laws are a good thing, guys.
Yeah.
Not their laws, maybe. They're like hanging people.
Yeah, they're way too harsh on it. But which it's one of those things you start thinking about it like in this situation. It's like I think at the beginning you probably would have to be that harsh. Like at least at the beginning.
Yeah.
Just how people have been for years and years now, like doing whatever they want, killing people, just taking things, doing terrible things all the time.
Yeah, to get toned down like generationally or something.
Yeah.
Probably.
So, I mean, maybe they have some kind of point there, but then you have people like Lucia who are like
purists.
Yeah, like they're in it, and then like it could just perpetuate for forever if they let them stay in that kind of, like just be that hard on it. Then we get one more flashback of the Dhamma kind of seeing Herschel's picture that he drew, and that she tells him that he'll need to do things when he goes home, kind of, which is, I guess, the signaling of, I assume, of the new Babylon people coming over. But yeah, that's the end of episode 3. We roll into our final episode of this part 1, episode 4, Feisty Friendly.
Bad names.
Yeah, there are some bad episode titles here. This one's all about Bruegel.
I don't like Bruegel.
You don't like him?
No.
What don't you like about him?
He's like, this is gonna sound bad. He's like, I'm trying to think of the right way to put this. He's like a little fashionista.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Like a little sissy fashionista kind of guy.
He has a much a more tender voice than I thought he would have.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. He's like, no, put the fire out.
Yeah.
It's 200 years old. Pat it. I'm like, I don't know what the situation is with that. That's just
I don't know. It's weird, yeah.
Not quite right there.
Especially because
with the name Bruegel.
Bruegel. it's this character's. I don't know, that whole situation is not what I expected, especially when I saw the casting of him, Kim Coates.
Do you know him from something?
No, he was just everybody was like excited. It seemed like that he was casted. I was like, I've never seen him
See,
before,
this name Kim
but he's
Coates, that sounds better than Bruegel.
yeah.
That's a fitting name for that.
But apparently, he's a character in Sons of Anarchy, and that's where people see him from. But yeah, and so now, you you see what I was expecting now, right?
Yeah.
Like a character from Sons
Well,
of
that's what
Anarchy.
I'm expecting too for a guy who
So
leads like a fighting
exactly,
walker ring.
yeah,
And
and maybe that's what they were thinking when they cast him or something. I don't know, but like yeah. So then
it's 200 years old. Like, what the heck? The mirrors are to reflect the light into the museum.
Oh,
Like,
tell me about it, Bruegel.
I just wish that Negan could say everything that was in his mind.
Oh yeah.
Because he would be like, Bruegel, huh? Well, like he'd have something not right to say.
You're a fancy little fella, aren't you?
Why does everybody have to dress like that? Like the steampunk renaissance? Like,
It's the future of the apocalypse, okay?
yeah, why is there a subculture in the apocalypse where people have to be like fancy? But
I don't
also,
know.
it's
It's
like
weird.
gritty, and then, no! It's 200 years old!
But I will say, New York is where I would expect to see this if it was gonna
I kept
happen.
thinking that this museum, for whatever reason, when we were watching it, I was like, oh yeah, we're in Paris. Like, I was getting it mixed with Daryl.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of how that guy was acting. Like,
I
I
was
don't
just
know, like,
thinking
the
Night of the
air about
Museum.
him made me think about that. But I will say that I can equal out your complaint about the sets
Mm.
with this. Because they tried to explain, like, why it was empty. Well, the guy that was here before us just, like, threw everything away and, like, trashed it. Like, there
Yeah.
was nothing. And really, what was there, like, one room of art?
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. That didn't disguise the fact that,
It was
yeah.
pretty empty. Yeah. But like it was also I think they did that it was empty and I'm expecting that was like cuz budget wise or whatever they
Mm-hmm.
couldn't make a good set.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they set that up well with Christos being such a like I believed that like he ruined everything
Mm-hmm.
in his group because like they're more of a primal group, I guess. Like when you look at them, they're like I think like caveman from
Yeah.
like when I see their group. So like I could believe it that they trashed everything, but anyway, yeah, we're still at the beginning of the episode here, so um yeah, the episode started with Bruegel talking and feeding rats to I thought, a walker. Um and then yeah, then we get Dama and all of them showing up at the museum and the the mirrors are to reflect the light. I feel like I'm sounding like Michael Jackson or something.
Yeah, he's a weird guy. Wow, we could power a toaster with this.
Thanks.
Thanks for the, what's it called?
Methane?
Yeah, thanks for this methane. We could fire up the toaster.
um so yeah, they all get to the museum and then back with New Babylon, Herschel tells Maggie and Pearlie about Ginny's gun and they and Negan and all that, and that so they decide to go after Negan and find the methane. Um, so yeah, and then at the museum, with the mirrors area, we we find out that yeah, so he actually won the museum from Christos with one of those walker fights. Um,
What seems sketchy to me.
yeah,
You want to win like a base from someone? They know all the secrets.
but see, I think they did a good job with this Christos character, like more now that we're talking about it, more than I realized, because I believed that. I believed that Christos would be so headstrong that like even if he's losing over and over again, like they keep saying, like they won like 26 times in a row or something. Like he's so like headstrong that he would be like, fight again, or like, yeah, I'll bet my whole base or whatever on this. We can beat you, kind of thing. Like, I don't know, but and we haven't seen much of him either, and I still believe it.
So Christos has been better established than Bruegel, who got a whole episode.
I don't know.
Bruegel's a little floral.
Floral,
Yeah.
flowery.
Yeah.
uh, you try to like, well, not flamboyant.
No, not necessarily
Like,
flamboyant. Just like his air is so interesting.
that's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah, like Negan should have had something to say about that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he didn't.
He's got to be respectful though. Yeah. So then we learn that, well, this group that does the chanting,
The Midsummer Group.
yeah, they tell Maggie and Pearlie that the Barazzi left the area to go to the museum, and so then
They need to clear out of our boathouse.
get out of our boathouse. And I thought, what, they're like, Maggie and Pearlie are like, well, we'll go check out the museum real quick, and then
We'll start packing while we go
leave
do
when
this.
we get back. It's like, I don't know, that might take a while. I don't know, like,
Yeah, well, they agreed.
yeah, they immediately agreed. That's what I thought was weird. It was like, it wasn't like,
well, maybe they're gonna do some midsummer stuff to them.
maybe, I don't know.
Maybe
I mean, they can
them.
do that to Lucia. I don't care. Yeah. Then we get the painting of Washington crossing the Delaware.
Yeah, it's 200 years old. Like, yeah, it's just in my head. It's just like a stem now. I have to say it. Pat it. Well, when I saw it, I said, wow, I really wouldn't have candles right next to that.
Yeah, you did.
To
You
me,
called that. Yeah.
That makes me feel nervous. That is a very important painting, in my opinion. Like, that's a striking painting, and it's,
Yeah.
it is 200 years old. Yeah,
It's the only painting left in this museum.
Seriously.
And we're going to put fire right next to it.
It's a serious piece of art. And yeah, I was like, why is it not just like a candle, like an entire like wrought iron, skinny, spindly candelabra with like 15 candles going. It's the middle of the day. And there's mirrors in the room too.
There's mirrors to reflect light in there.
Which is what I was also thinking is like, would you really want to reflect like daylight onto these art pieces that are temperature controlled and stuff in normal circumstance?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just a lot of things about this that was like, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, so while they're talking in there, this is when the Croat starts to speak up and question how the Bruegel's champion has won 26 times in a row. And then Adama gives Negan that look.
Yeah.
That serious look. Like, shut him up. And so Negan steps in and says, well, the way I see it, the biggest guy wins, and you have the biggest guy. Big effing Frankenstein.
I don't understand. Why would he let him win that many times in a row? I guess if he loses, spoilers, the guy dies.
Yeah.
So, but like, why don't you do you have to put the same champion in?
No, I don't think. I mean, we're getting technical on the rules here, which I don't think are like that far established. Like having to do it the same person every time or anything. But yes, like if you're winning with he's a big guy. I guess that's something that you can say as like that's why I'm winning kind of thing, or
Well, you could at least let it get close a couple times, something. I don't know.
yeah. Well,
It was so suspicious every time they showed the way that it would get in there and kill the other one.
yeah, it was. It
I
was
was
suspicious.
like, how is it? It looked. I wasn't thinking it was a person really. I was thinking the way that it was moving, like it looked like it was trained. How could you train it to do that?
This is when I think I think when they started talking about it like that, or when the crowd started talking about it like that, that's when I started to think, is it a guy? Like,
well, I thought that, but like, how could it be a guy? Because the guy has to be covered enough.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I started to think about it. It's like you never saw like the face. It was like just knives on the front of the face. So it's like you can't even tell if someone is just moving around in there, like trying to act like a walker. Then you can't see their face. Then how do you know? Like,
just like the way it would like go up and not only
yes, the actions were kind of
stabbing in and then like pulling up and stuff. Like a walker would run into something and get stuck. A walker wouldn't know how to pin something down and then like scrape against it.
Yeah, I thought it was weird. Like always when he would like grab or like hit.
Yeah.
You know, like with his arms, like he'd like.
But like, yeah, the shoulders would be back. And it's just a weird posture, and that's so interesting because these are all people acting like walkers in real life.
Yeah.
But you notice like the whisperers when they first showed up.
Oh,
I remember
was so good.
You immediately were like, "That's like super uncomfortable. Obviously, is not a walker." And like even in crowds, you could spot the whisperers.
They did a good job with the whisper. It was just
when they wanted you to know, you knew.
When they wanted you to know, yeah. But like first appearances and stuff, like they looked like walkers until all of a sudden they started moving like.
Oh, like what? When they killed Jesus?
When they killed Jesus, yeah.
Yeah,
dude, that was insane.
Yeah, in groups and stuff, like they'd hang their heads down a little different.
Yeah.
You could start to see the difference because like. Not that we're the same, but it's like you're attuned just the way the people in the universe are, that you notice when something is different.
Yeah.
Or like, that's not right. So I don't know. I guess I was kind of banking on the fact that maybe they're going to pick up the smart walker thing again.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice because they were mentioning, like, what, you jack it up with, like, some chemicals or something?
Yeah.
And, like, that. I mean, that's what they do in Daryl Dixon.
I just thought like maybe you could take a climbing walker, like there's some that
a smart
have, like,
walker
taken additional skills, not like the psycho crazy like rabid ones.
Well, the ones in Daryl Dixon, they're like they make them different, but the ones in Walking Dead, those ones were like as far as we know,
a walker that knew how to go and jiggle a doorknob. Yeah, could be trained.
Like it's like the ones in Walking Dead are like, as far as we know, like naturally occurring.
The one that could pick up a brick and hit the window.
Yeah.
Could be trained.
Well, they were picking up weapons at the end. Like holding knives, and they thought that they were whisperers.
Yeah. Well, I just thought, I don't remember that. I guess I just remember the one that climbed on top of the RV, I think it was. And that's what, I think it was, Aaron thought it was a whisperer. And, like, took it down and tried to pull its face off, and it was like...
Oh, yeah. Was it Jerry?
I don't remember. I feel like Aaron was there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they were like, what the... They made it said, like, what the F?
No, that's my favorite, the finale episode, when the one climbs up on whatever, like the dumpster or something, and Negan's like...
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so good. So good.
Yeah, like there is potential for that, and that would be super interesting. But yeah, it was just really suspicious, this one.
Yeah. Um. So yeah. Then we go back to Maggie, Herschel, and Pearlie on their way. They're talking about food, their favorite foods.
I liked this part too. It made me
Yeah.
think of early Walking Dead.
Me too. Yeah. I really enjoyed this as well because yeah, Pearlie is saying what he liked the breakfast sandwich, and Maggie liked Kit Kats.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I liked what they had the little thing about the fire alarm too, which was
Yeah,
fun.
Herschel didn't understand the
Yeah,
fire alarm.
I like that because it's like he's just a kid. He
Yeah.
grew up in it. Is like what else? It really makes you think like just all the day to day stuff of normal life that like
Mhm.
he knows nothing about, or the children of this apocalypse know nothing about.
Mhm.
Um, I liked um I liked when Maggie was talking about like the last candy bar that she had was what she said like 3 years in, and she was like
Glenn found
saying it
it.
was Glenn. Yeah, that gave it to her. I was like, oh, that's kind
I
of
was
nice.
trying to think of when that was, when Michonne and Carl were eating those. Were they Big
Yeah,
Cats?
the big cat. Yeah, which is funny because it's like it. I
Is
don't
that
think
a
that's a
Kit
real.
Kat?
I don't think
Yeah,
that's a real
no.
candy bar, and it's like, but they're talking about Kit Kats now.
Well,
Like,
the Big Cat was like a yellow, like
it
a
was
big,
brown and
a
yellow.
long one, like a Butterfinger style, like shape.
Mm.
I thought it was more like a
Maybe,
bar.
yeah. I literally like just watched it a little bit ago. I think, yeah. I thought it was like the kind of like the size of a Snickers, almost
Yeah,
is what it
that's
was.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, Michonne hiding it behind,
Yeah.
holding out the other one. Well, was it the big cat? Was oh now I can't remember.
I'm just thinking about when they're on the train tracks.
Yeah, well I was trying to remember which one was the big cat. Was it the brown and yellow one or like the red and yellow one? Those were the two candy bars.
I
But
think it's the yellow one.
anyway, um, where were we here?
Maggie talking about Glenn.
Yeah, yeah, we get a little more of Herschel like being like,
It's better now. I don't even
yeah,
want
it's
candy.
better. Yeah, if we bring things back, it's just gonna lead to more fighting. Blah 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 blah. Um, and then we, everybody goes to the table to watch their little exposition fight or whatever it was. Um, and I love this because I loved Bruegel making fun of Croat in his
That was
accent.
terrible. Well, you know what? Even worse, I knew someone who was Croatian,
uh,
like immigrated from Croatia.
yeah.
The Croat does not sound Croatian from my experience with
Mm,
hearing Croatian accent, English speaking
okay.
Croatian
Yeah.
accent at all. So it was like even funnier to hear this guy with a weird voice do a bad fake Croatian accent.
Based off of
Yeah,
this one. Yeah.
yeah. This does not sound right to me at all, and it's even worse. And then he's getting mad, like it's bothering him that
Yeah.
he's trying to copy him and like mocking him, and then
Like
saying
it
like,
is.
"I'm not making fun of you," and he's all the
uh,
way seated away from Dharma,
yeah, I
and
love it
Negan
so
is
much.
sitting by
I
Dharma.
just love how they like make the Croat just like I don't know, like they make him just like so like he's under
out.
Negan now.
Yeah.
Like, like he's nothing to the Dama. And he's upset about it. Like he's trying it's like he wants to prove himself,
But he
but he
also
loves
thinks Negan
Negan.
is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
She literally treats him like a kid.
Yeah, yeah. Uh yeah, and then we have
Wait,
Benjamin.
who said something about rats give them the, someone said something like, rats give me the runs, or, you
That was
remember?
Negan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Negan's like, nah,
Yeah.
I
When he
don't
sneaks off to
understand.
go to the bathroom,
Yeah,
air
okay,
quotes.
yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, like that's such a
Yeah.
stupid, but like yeah, that's probably true. It would make me sick. He
Yeah,
was like, no,
I don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
familiar enough with this meat. I know
Dude,
it's gonna make me have to go.
that meal.
A carrot.
That carrot looked so, I don't know, like
like it was grown
weird.
in a weird container on top of a building in New York.
Yeah, but like I wouldn't expect it to be that big if it was grown in a container kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, and then Benjamin remembers that Dama was a critic in the before times.
This was crazy because she was like, I don't even.
That look, yeah.
I don't even know how you make your face do that.
She looked like she was like, if she got pushed any further, her jaw was gonna like unhinge and like just swallow him whole or something. Like she looks terrifying. She looks like she could be in a horror movie. Like she's scary, man.
Dang, she was like the nun.
yeah. Dude, you put like white face paint or something on her. My goodness. Nightmare fuel.
Oh my gosh. I'm just picturing. Like, I want AI to do that now. Make her jaw shake down.
Banshee scream.
And then she bites him.
Yeah, well, she's known to bite people.
That's crazy. That's nasty.
Yeah.
She bit the playwright for making a play to make fun of her because she was such a brat.
That's New York, baby.
What the heck? She's genuinely like tripping is not even the word. She's like beyond like tweaking. Like I don't have a word. Yeah, I think you got it right when you said it looked like her jaw was gonna shake off and swallow him. I thought she was gonna like kill him at the table to make him not go all the way through with the story.
I was surprised that she like let him continue. Like, wow, you this.
And Negan's like, okay, that's freaking weird.
Yeah, like he's not even really bothered.
Yeah, you're biting people, and she's like, she's about to turn into a villain from Courage the Cowardly Dog. So kudos to her.
Yeah. Yeah, then we go back to Lucia, and I guess she found Ginny's gun, and which isn't Ginny's gun, it's actually Lucia's gun.
So Lucia should be shot to death by firing squad for losing control of her weapon.
That's right. Yes.
That's the rule, right? Section 42.3A
of the New Babylon Accords.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she gives the gun back to Ginny, and she asks if Negan is the person that killed her father, and then it's left at that. Which I think that she. What do you think? You think she tells her that it's Negan?
She probably just goes mute.
I feel like she does.
Tell her?
I mean, it's like she doesn't have to, but just the way the story's going, I feel like that gives Lucia like ammo or whatever, like.
Yeah. Well, Negan kills everybody
to go in there.
So.
Yeah, I don't know, but well, yeah, it's true. Yeah, we'll see where that goes, but yeah. Then after this little match, Walker match, Bruegel, it's like he stands up and he says, with this new partnership, we'd like to add one amendment or something and build a methane lab here, kind of thing.
And the Croat is not having it. He's like, no! He
slamming his fists on the table. No! Yeah, he's mad about it. And then Negan says, "I will we'll have a fight over it. Let's do a walker match. We pick one, and you guys send in your champion, and whoever wins. Well, if we win, then we don't have to build it, and you join. And if we lose, then you guys can have a methane lab here or whatever." Um, and then Maggie and that crew head into the museum. That's when the painting gets set on fire.
It's 200 years old.
Which I took it that like Maggie. I most logically, I think it was Maggie that knocked over that.
Her dad would be mad at her, I bet.
Yeah. At first I was thinking it was Herschel, but I was like, well, she needed a distraction. It was probably Maggie that knocked that over.
Well, then how is she whistling? Well, I guess it.
Well,
was her
she didn't have to be there. Well,
be really nearby and be able to whistle.
Yeah, but she does a whistle, and what? Yeah, it's just loud enough for Negan, who's like a couple steps away from everybody else, to hear it, and nobody else hear it.
Yeah, because it's not even like they could think like, oh, that might be a bird. We're focused on this painting.
Well, the Croat knows that whistle, and he's not very far away from Negan.
That's true.
So
he's too enraged.
Yeah. So yeah, Negan sneaks off to go have a little rat poop.
I bet that comes up later. The Dama's gonna be like, so what were you really doing while the painting was on fire?
Well, yeah, she whips around it before he gets a chance to get out of there, and is like, where are you going? She's locked onto him. But this is the first time this season that Maggie and Negan come face to face.
You don't look like you're locked up. You look like a man living large. She's so terrible.
She is.
Come on. Get this. Come on, Maggie.
Yeah. So yeah, Maggie wants the methane location for New Babylon. Negan doesn't want to give it to her, but it's like both of them really could care less. It's just that the situations that they are both in, they have to keep this information away from each other. Which surprised me, because it's like Negan, it just got done saying, I can't tell you because they have Annie and Joshua. And then he tells them. Right after.
Yeah.
He says, go to the church. Right after they have a conversation about Annie and Joshua. Like, that made no sense to me.
It's because his family's gonna die.
Dang it, man. Yeah, I don't know.
Dama has slipped a couple times and been like, your family would be proud, or would have been, or something. They will be.
Yeah, maybe they're dead. I don't know. They're crossing the Appalachians or whatever right now.
Yeah, like, how are they getting status updates?
Well, she said like they should be crossing, like, time-wise. I don't know. Surprised they have people that far out, honestly. Like, why?
Again, that's why I kind of like, do they really?
Yeah, they just got like the information, maybe. I don't know.
Do they even have any? Do they even know?
But still, like, well, I guess as long as they knew
the names,
the names, but like they knew where they were headed when they left Negan. So they know a fair amount of information about them, but they can make up all that other stuff if they know that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah, so Herschel finds Dama, which there's not much really to talk about there. We don't see much. I guess we'll probably get more about that later. And then we get this fight begin. with Negan's small walker that he plucked, and no armor, and he poured oil all over it. And I swore, I thought he was going to light that thing on fire because that would immediately prove that the big guy was a human. I was like, he's pouring oil on it. He's going to light him on fire. And then the guy's going to be like, ah, I'm burning. But he doesn't do that. He just makes him slippery. That's what he wanted to do. So yeah, this fight begins, and then the slipperiness is working, which I don't know how. If you're a big guy, not a walker, you could still get a hold of them. I think, but then so yeah, the Negan's one is getting the upper hand, so Bruegel puts out his arm to kind of distract it away from.
Yeah, which boo.
Yeah.
It works then.
It works then. Yeah, like all the other times that they with people screaming and yelling and everything, like that didn't work. But well, I guess if they're surrounding the whole thing, they can't pinpoint one spot. They'll be going back and forth probably. Mm-hmm. But whatever. So yeah, that gives Negan like the go ahead to jump in there. Because he's not touching them. That's part of the rule. He just can't physically interfere, so he's just using himself as bait.
Oh, it was terrible when he grabbed the Bruegels and looked at his eyes.
Yeah.
And knew. Yeah. Then I was like, oh, it is a person. That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like a mutilated person.
Like a mutilated like what?
Like mouth stitched shut.
Oh.
Like tortured person.
No, they're not that creative anymore.
No, this is a willing participant. In terrible living conditions. He was yes. A willing participant.
Yeah, so the big one ends up killing Negan's, and Bruegel's kind of celebrating, and then Negan comes in and whispers in his ear,
I know you guys are human.
Yeah.
Weirdo, creepy guy. If you don't just drop your terms, we'll kill you, and I'll tell everyone.
Yep. So he's like, Bruegel's like, we won, but no amendments. And you see the Dama's so happy with Negan.
Well, how did you pull that off, my blessed child?
Yes. Why don't you ride in the back of the car with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Croat, you drive us over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Which, that was concerning to me. I was like, everyone's going to be in that car?
Yeah.
Come on now, it can never be too safe.
Yeah. Yeah, so then we get, Herschel gets out of there late because he was talking to Dom or whatever.
Where have you been?
Yeah.
Where have you been, Herschel?
And then at the very end of the episode, we see, Bruegel talking to Tony. It's his bodyguard from before who is the champion. And I think it was really the live rats that threw me off at the beginning. Is that he was feeding him live rats, not cooked like everybody else.
I understand. He's telling the story about Tony earlier in the episode about how he had a good bodyguard and he was great. And he was helpful to him even after the apocalypse started. Like, how does this guy go from, how does this happen to someone?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then he just kills him.
Yep. And then Tony's dead because the secret got out.
But, also, he gave in to Negan.
Yeah.
He's like, my secret got out. I'm going to immediately kill you.
Yeah.
I don't really get that. I mean, destroy the evidence.
Well, destroy the evidence. I mean, now Negan can't. He can still say
It was a person.
That he was cheating the whole time, but like he's not cheating anymore. So it's like a little bit better, I guess. So any like fights that he's gonna have from now on, he could just put a normal one in there. But
and then start losing again.
yeah, and then it's like even again. But I don't know. So yeah, that's episodes 1 through 4 of Dead City season 2. What did you think overall?
Not great. I enjoyed this last episode the best out of all of them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because there was more Walker-esque stuff going on. And it actually felt like things were starting to come together.
Yeah.
I don't like the Midsummer people.
Hopefully they're not around for very long.
I would like most of these New Babylon people to get killed, and then the New Babylon stuff to be wrapped up.
Yeah, they kind of like pitched this season as like a big battle between New Babylon and the rest of these people.
Didn't what's his face, the guy with the daughters, what's his name?
Pearly?
Yeah, that just doesn't seem like it should be his name. Didn't he say he considered leaving, but like he couldn't?
Yeah.
So there's potential, like, you know, if they want to keep him and like his family, like if the New Babylon thing can like crumble, you know, eventually here, like in season 3 or something. I don't know. They're just a weak point for me because of they're so stubborn and they're unmoving, and it just gets people killed and it's not great.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I just don't understand like at this point how there's gonna be like this battle for the methane because it like the New Babylon's army has been whittled down to like nothing almost.
Like 10 of them.
Yeah, so there it's like I think really the only thing that they could do is like they team up with maybe Christos or something because he didn't seem on board. So I don't know. We might still get that battle going forward, but yeah, I agree. I think that episodes 3 and 4 is when it started to be a little more interesting. The first two are like, and then I mentioned, you know, like I just think the sets aren't as good this season, and
which is interesting because it's only the second season.
Yeah.
If you're anything at this point in time, it would be better this season than last.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's because they added 2 more episodes.
That should not. That is not fair in this day and age. This is like the 4th spinoff.
4th? This is like the 7th spinoff or something like that. Yeah.
Come on now.
We're up there now.
You're in this universe. You've committed billions into it at this point. You can't give this.
Well, I will tell you, so far with this season, I feel like this is the weakest point of like the new spinoffs. Like Dead City, Daryl Dixon, and The Ones Who Live. I think they were all higher quality.
The Ones Who Live was the most pointless to me.
The ending was just so terrible, but everything else was so good in that show. But like, I don't know, just like this season in particular feels like just the lowest point. And it's still like I'm enjoying it still, but I'm just like I think about Daryl Dixon and it's season 2, and I think it's infinitely better at this point.
I can't wait for season 3 without Laurent.
Yeah, now he's presumably back at Commonwealth. They really, I mean, we're probably
gonna a Commonwealth show.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, I think we're gonna say this about every Walking Dead thing that we do, but or at least I will. It's just they need to bring it back to one show. They need to go back to Commonwealth and like bring back the big characters and make Walking Dead 2.
They would come back.
Yeah. So maybe one day. I'm still fully on board for like the next generation show
Mm-hmm.
with Judith leading kind of and get a better actor for RJ grown up.
If he's even real.
Make it, yeah, if he's even real still. He's still not, still think he's a figment of Michonne's imagination, even though she's gone from here to there. But yeah. All right, so that's yeah, that is episodes 1 through 4 of Dead City season 2. Thank you for tuning in, and
We get our poll up.
mm-hmm.
Don't know what it's gonna be yet.
Yeah, we'll get a poll up. It'll be available when this episode goes up, which is Friday. It'll be available on Two Ghost Review Instagram and Blue Ghost Review Instagram for 24 hours, and it will also be available on the Spotify episode poll. You just go to the episode and scroll down on it, and the poll is right there. Um, that one I've just put, it's up for longer than 24 hours. It's up till the next episode airs.
Oh, that's nice.
But we record these episodes in advance, so it's not like a set time of when, those results will be counted. It's just whenever we record, we'll take the results from it and add it in. But yeah. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, please
communicate.
yes, leave a comment, or you can rate the podcast too. Give us 5 stars.
Yeah. We'd like some stars. I know
Yeah.
I would like a star.
Yeah, at least one.
I think I deserve 5, but
Yeah, I think we have a pretty great little podcast right here, and
I would rate us 5
yeah.
stars.
Yeah.
Maggie would rate us 5 stars, and then she'd ask if the city has a poll on us.
It does.
It does.
It really does.
Yeah.
It has such a pull on us that we will be back later to review the rest of this season. And we will see you all then.